Well, let's get more on this now and more reaction. I'm joined in the studio by Reda Almari from BBC Arabic and BBC Persian's Siavash Adalan. Reda, to you first, just tell us a bit more about Sheikh NIMR. What did he stand for? What was he about? And was he an advocate for a peaceful change to the country?
Sheikh NIMR Bakr al-NIMR was very popular amongst the younger generation of Shia Saudis. He was calling for more rights for the Shia minority who've seen themselves marginalized in Saudi society. We have to remember that most of the oil is from the eastern provinces, which are predominantly Shia, but they saw that they didn't have a stake in that oil. As well, in 2009, he was known for calling for secession of the eastern provinces and to form an independent entity with Bahrain, which is also predominantly Shia. And he was arrested and charged he was sentenced to death in October 2014 for taking up arms against the Saudi government and working with foreign entities. They mean Iran in this case. But his supporters, they fiercely deny this and they say he was mainly a peaceful cleric.
So, Vash, Iran, as you would expect, are absolutely furious about this. That statement made it pretty clear they are going to react in some shape or form that will punish Saudi Arabia. But what do they mean by that? Do you have any clue what we could be heading into here?
Well, they have stopped short of saying exactly what they will do for their part. They've been warning about the consequences of this execution for a year now, ever since the verdict was issued. In the coming hours, we're expecting maybe a statement from the supreme leader of Iran. Apart from anything the parliamentarians may say or the foreign ministry may say, his reaction, probably the wording of his statement, will have an effect on exactly how Iran wants to treat this. But tomorrow they're supposed to hold massive rallies in Iran's religious cities and also before the Saudi embassy in Tehran. We can measure the political temperature there, but I don't know what more Iran can do. If there's any speculation of Iran probably steering unrest in the region, we're already seeing, as soon as the news of execution came out, that people came out in the streets. So I don't know what more Iran can do apart from that.
And Reda, protests inside Saudi Arabia look quite huge. It's fair to say that some of those protests in the past have been violent, they have led to violence, even though the Sheikh wasn't an advocate of violence. What do you think we will see happen in Saudi Arabia in the coming hours?
The Saudi government is sending now military reinforcements in Al-Qatif, which is the hotbed for dissent, for Shia dissent in Saudi Arabia.
So we should really keep an eye on this then?
Yes, we don't know exactly how things might develop in the next few days, but there are calls on social media from Shia Saudi activists for more protests and days of anger in the streets of Saudi Arabia, but it's too early to speculate.
Yeah, it is, but we will keep monitoring the protests and see what happens. Reda and Siavash, many thanks for bringing us up to date and giving us that analysis.